How's it, everybody? Gabe here from the Hawaii Institute of Self-Reliance. Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today's video is a response to a comment by Brian Smith. He asked me to do a video on the pros and cons of living in Hawaii. Well, I'll start with the positives, the pros. Now, it's one of the most beautiful places you've ever been to in your life. There's jungle, desert, beaches, mountains. We just got a bunch of snow, like I think 30 inches of snow in the mountains at 14,000 feet, and the snow level got down to 9,000 feet. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see. We've got every environment except for frozen tundra and Arctic. And who wants to, hang out or camp in that kind of environment? I live in a place called Puna District. That's where I was born and raised. So I'm a local. I grew up it's very rough. This town is very rough. It's like a old western town with wooden sidewalks and places for your horses, to tie off your horses, in the jungle. So, and there's only 1,000 people at the last census that was recorded that lives in the town. So it's a very small town. Now the surrounding area has 30 to 40,000 people in all of Puna District. We have beaches, we have the volcano, which is extremely interesting. You can walk on land that's 30 years old. You can walk on land that's 3 hours old. You can't do that very easily in the mainland, or where else? It's so interesting, it's so unique. And the lava right now is going into the ocean, creating more of the United States, or more of Hawaii. We're the only state that is growing, and we keep growing because of the lava, and it keeps creating, last count I believe was about 3 football fields worth of new land that has been created in the past 3 months or so. So that's amazing, right? And I live in the jungle, so it rains a lot here, and you get to collect your own water, and you can filter it, so you don't have to have a water bill. That's really nice. You can be on solar, which is really nice. You don't have to have water or electric bill. There are wells that certain subdivisions have. In their subdivision, they'll have a well. So you have a spigot, a community spigot, to where you can go collect water. So that's not a big problem. But a lot of people live very interesting. It's a very interesting place. All sorts of people from all walks of life. It's a melting pot. It's kind of like the true America, melting pot of the United States. We have a very diverse community, and that is awesome. Now there is some good to that, and of course there's some bad to that, and I'll get to that later. Now, what else is there that's awesome about this place? Well, it's part of the United States. We speak English, so you don't have to go to another country to enjoy this beautiful place and all these different environments and a volcano. And if you're American, you can just hop on over on a plane, and it's reasonably cheap to vacation here. Kinda, if you do it right. If you go to certain places, and like Puna is fairly cheap to vacation. Now, living is not that cheap. It's fairly expensive to live here. Gas is right now at $2.80, which is kind of expensive, and then milk is like $7 a gallon, for the decent milk. So that's kind of pricey, and all the other material objects are fairly expensive, or a little bit more expensive than the mainland. And there is a separation between mainland and islanders, right? We call it the Mad Land, the lower 48. It's a hustle and bustle. We're a little bit more relaxed here. The attitude is a little bit more shaka, hang loose, aloha, the land of aloha, Hawaii. I kind of equate it to Thailand. Thailand is the land of smiles. Hawaii is the land of aloha. Very similar. Aloha means love, hello, goodbye, good things. Aloha. Now, if you wanted to say, we have three languages, three primary languages. There's English, right? And there's Hawaiian, and that's the native Hawaiian language. And then there's Pidgin, which uses kind of a mixture of all different languages that were on the island. So there's some Japanese, there's some Chinese in there, there's some Filipino words, there's some British British kind of slang, and then there's some American country slang in there. Where I live is country, but there is still crime because there's not a lot of law enforcement, so you can do kind of what you want, and there's not too many regulations, and there's not too many agencies to regulate these things, right? Like building codes, how people live. A lot of people live in poverty, and they live in a tent or under a tarp without electricity or without running water, so you kind of have to be tough to live here. I always say coming to Puna is like holding a mirror up to yourself. What can you take? What can you do without? And you come to Puna and you see what you can take and what you can not do without. The luxuries like electricity and running water and cheap food. So what you do to make it cheaper to live here is you grow your own food. So that's a extreme positive. You can grow almost anything. Like I said, we have almost all environments. So plants thrive here, especially in the jungle where you can have plenty of water. So, and there are plants that don't like the jungle, and it does get kind of wet here. And so your clothes sometimes smell like mold, and that is, I guess, maybe where I should get into the cons. Now, you are on an island, so you're trapped on an island. It's only a 6-hour drive all the way around, so I think it's like 350 miles, right? The fastest we can go, you can take this as a pro or a con, is 55 miles an hour. So the whole island, the big island, Hawaii, you can only go 55 miles an hour, right? So that's kind of cool. It really laid back. Now, let's see, what else? What are the cons? Yeah, you're on an island. Let's see, there really isn't that many. Jobs. It is kind of hard to get a decent job here. Most of the pay is minimum wage because of the tourist industry. That's the only thing here. We don't have metals, we don't have minerals, we don't have any natural resources. No oil, no natural gas. All we have is steam from the volcano. So they do geothermal like electric gathering stations or whatever, transfer station, right? So what they do is they shoot water down this hole, and the steam comes up, and they gather the steam, and it powers these turbines, and it powers and supplies electricity. I won't get into that too much, but that is actually kind of a con, because that's pretty gnarly, right? They're drilling a huge hole a mile deep into a volcano down the street from my house. Oof, right? You know, I've been evacuated twice from lava, Kalapana Gardens and Royal Gardens, and both times the houses were covered in lava. So that's I guess a con and a pro, because it's a very unique experience. I will never forget that. And so I've seen raining glass. You know, when the lava shoots up 2,000 feet in the air, which I've seen, it rains glass down, and it rains glass all over the island. So you wake up in the morning and there's little shards of glass all around, and it's from the rock being shot up and then falling down real quick and making glass, because it cools real quick, and then it creates a cloud, and then it goes around the island and it rains glass all over. So you wake up and it's glittering glass all over, right? There's little shards of glass. So that's kind of land before time, right? Interesting. And as a kid, it was awesome. So there's really no real cons. I mean, there's great fishing here. That's a pro. You can live off the land, so that's a pro. And there's not that much, you know, I have against this place. I love Hawaii. I enjoy it. And I hope you like this video. I hope you comment. I'm here for any questions. Please comment below. I love all your comments, and I'll answer all the questions that I possibly can. truthfully, I'm a local, so I think I gave this a pretty good shot at having the truth about Hawaii, and that's kind of what I wanted to get across to you. It's not the tourist island like everybody thinks. There are tourist places that are pretty safe, but where I live is rugged in the frontier of Hawaii. Now, I hope you share this video. I hope it helps somebody that is planning to move to Hawaii or move to Puna or is interested in visiting. So I hope this video helps, and I hope you subscribe for further videos. I will probably do further videos on living in Hawaii. It's so fascinating, and you know, I can't do it in under a 15-minute video. I'll have to do several different videos, but I'm not going to call this a part one. I'm just going to keep going. So I hope you subscribe for further videos, and until next time, aloha!